Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks very much for joining. We're just going to give it a minute or so just to see if there are any more joining us today. You're all very welcome. I see there's a few people in here that use FireCloud already. You're very welcome, and I guess an extended welcome to those of you who are not currently using FireCloud. Thanks very much for your time today. Just going to hold back a couple of more minutes, see if we get anybody else attending, and then we will get the webinar started. Okay, everybody, thanks again for your time. Thanks for your patience. We're going to get cracking. Again, appreciate your time today. So I'm going to kick this off quickly with a little bit of housekeeping. This is a little bit different from the regular Zoom calls. You will notice that it's a little bit different. Keep an eye on the panel on the right-hand side. I'm going to be sharing a handout with you, and there's also some poll questions that I would really like everybody's input in. So if you could just tick those. I can't see you, I can't hear you. So all you're going to do is just click buttons and you'll be able to download content. Special offer as well at the end of this that you can click on. And like I said, we'll get cracking. So my name is John. I've got 12 years experience working in hospitality. I've also got 10 years experience working in software. So 5 of those years have been working in a fire safety solution for hotels. The company is called FireCloud. So we help hotels manage their fire safety routines with their checks and their procedures, helping them remain efficient and compliant. Between myself and the team, we have around about 50 years experience of working in hospitality and managing fire safety in hotels. So I hope with all of that combined, you will get something out today. So the webinar will take around about 15-20 minutes. Don't like to keep everybody too long because I'm from a hotel background myself, so I know how busy things are. So I'm going to kick this off. I'm just going to go back to basics, I guess, just with a little bit of legislation. Then we're going to talk about how often a walk should be completed, build a schedule and know who is completing it, what you should check, build your fire walk routine, and then most importantly, how you should be recording those checks. Okay, so with a little bit of legislation here now, this is the Irish legislation. I do have a link here to the UK regulations. I'm just putting that now into the chat. So this is for fire safety in places of assembly. So ease of escape regulations 1985. So escape route means a route by which a person may reach a place of safety and means in relation to any point in a building, a route from that point. So place of assembly means a building or any part of a building to any of the following uses, that is to say as in. Now, there's a lot of different buildings in here, but I've kind of cut this list down for the purposes of this, particularly when it comes to hospitality. So, premises license for sale of intoxicating liquor other than an off license, restaurant, cafe, canteen, swimming baths. So that would include obviously all your spa areas as well. So, place of safety means a place in the open air at ground level in which persons are no longer in danger from fire, as if it was in a closed space. So every person having control over a place of assembly should take the following precautions. So basically, to make sure that all escape routes are kept unobstructed and immediately available for use. Doors, gates, and other like barriers across escape routes are not secured in such a manner that they cannot be easily and immediately opened by persons in the place of assembly. So look, a lot of this here is self-explanatory. A lot of it here is common sense, but you'd be very surprised now at the number of hotels that we've been to where this isn't followed. I'm not going to go through all the legislation for you. So there's a link there, and you can read that. But you'll get the gist of this, and you'll be able to see that this is this again is something that should be followed. So I like to bring things back to basics. I know a lot of people are already using FireCloud, and that's great. But it's always good to make sure that we are doing these things. So what to check? So we've got the final exits. So an exit that gives direct access to open space with fresh air. Your fire alarm control panel. So ensure that the control panel is on and there are no lights are flashing. So I guess, these fire panels, a lot of these are working in the hotels, that they tend to be behind reception or in the back office. I guess the important thing to notice would be, if the lights are flashing, what do you do if they are flashing? Do you know who to contact? Do you know what those lights represent? If you don't, it's really important that you and your colleagues have an understanding, even if you write a little key to it and stick it on the panel. It's really important that you understand that not only if they do flash, but what those flashing lights mean. The next thing is your escape routes and emergency exit signs. Look, we've all done it. We're walking down the corridor, we're on our phones, we've got 100 emails to reply to, and we're not necessarily looking where we're going when we're on our walk. So a visual check whilst on the walk that ensures that all exits are clear and that all emergency signs, lights are unobstructed and working. So that's your running man signs there. Again, you know the hotel in and out yourself, but those that are coming to the hotel for the first time, they may not necessarily know that there is a door at the end of that corridor. The next thing, I know some hotels would do their own laundry, others will send it out. But again, it's always good to go through this here. So your linen stores and your laundry rooms. So these are high risk for fires. Ensure these rooms get a good visual check. Are the fire doors to these rooms in good working order? And is the portable firefighting equipment present and in good working order? I know a lot of these rooms tend to be in the basement, so not a lot of natural daylight, not a lot of fresh air. It gets very hot in there with the tumble dryers. So you get the nearest fire extinguisher to prop the door open. Not good practice at all. If you need to keep those doors open, make sure that they're in good working order. One of the highest risk areas for fires in a hotel would be the tumble dryers. So not checking the filters, they get clogged up, and that's one of the biggest factors for fires in hotels. The next one would be plant, boiler, comms rooms, sump, and keg rooms. So a visual check in each of these rooms, ensuring doors are in good working order. Look for leaks or potential obstructions. Now, for those that are doing the daily fire walks in the hotel, they may not necessarily have access to all of these rooms. So it's important that if they don't have access to these rooms, then somebody who does have access and the authority to go into these rooms, making sure that they are still doing these checks. Comms rooms where there's a half cup of coffee sitting on the floor there, easily kicked over. Boiler and plant rooms, exactly the same. So it's really important that these rooms are also checked and are included on your daily fire walks. And then finally, when it comes to checks, your portable firefighting equipment. So your visual check that all fire extinguishers are present and in the right location, and most importantly, that they're in date. A separate periodical check for these should be completed. We recommend that the company who provided them for you, they will be able to do those checks for you. And then the main one is the kitchen, canteen, and tea stations. So these tend to have a very high footfall. They're large commercial kitchens, are at high risk for fire, especially with electrical equipment, gas, grease, flames. Like, it's all common sense, but sometimes it's just good to go over these things. Like, I know, particularly when I worked in a hotel, you walk into a kitchen unannounced, the chefs don't tend to be very pleased with that. So again, it's something that all hotels would need to have an agreement on. You know, does the chef appoint somebody to do these checks, or do you have a conversation that they know and expect you to come in periodically throughout the day to do these checks? So communication there is key. So how often should you do these checks? So a lot of hotels that we work with, they tend to do three checks per day. So that's one every 8 hours. Again, it all depends on the size of your hotel. Some larger hotels, they may do more. If you've got a city centre hotel, they may do like a security walk around the perimeter at night time. So the guide on the screen here really is just, you know, a rough kind of guide to what we recommend. Nothing set in stone. It really does depend on the size of your hotel. But as a given rule, 3 times a day, perfect. So what I'm going to do now is there is a worksheet that we recommend. I am going to open that now and turn that on. So you should see in your chat box on the right hand side there, the Hotel Manager's Guide to Daily Firewalks. So you can just click on that there to download. I'm going to keep that available for you to download until the end of the webinar. If you forget to download it, don't worry, just email me and I can send that across to you. If you do have any questions at all, there is an option for you to send me some questions. This can be private. So not everybody will be able to see them, or you can open up some questions for public viewing. It's up to you. I can answer your questions at the end. Next thing I want to do is just ask everybody currently, how many firewalks do you do in one day? So I'm just opening that poll question there. If you could just answer that there. There's no right or wrong answer. If you just want to click on one of those numbers, 1 through to 5, that's brilliant. I'm seeing a few people clicking those already, which is fantastic. There's I can't see, and nobody else can see who is marking these. And like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. Okay, so we would talk to hotels on a daily basis. We talk to a lot of general managers, a lot of operations managers, and there's a commonality there. And we've kind of selected, I guess, 3, main common problems that we get. So the first one is a lot of hotels are using paper records. So these are very, very hard to kind of keep an eye on. So hotels rely on paper records to complete their checks. These can be lost, they can be pre and post dated, and they can be unreliable if trying to make an insurance claim or stand up in court. So again, you know, a lot of hotels have been using those, and it's one of the biggest issues that hotels have. The next one is the checks are constantly being missed. So without the use of a digital solution, it's difficult to keep track on checks that could have been missed or track issues during the routine. So again, sometimes you don't always necessarily know who is doing the walk. One colleague could have said to another that they were going to do it and they end up getting called away and it's not complete. There's no real correlation there. And also as well, the general manager and the operations manager within the hotel, they can't actually see anywhere whether this has been complete unless it's been written on these kind of paper checks, I guess. And then the third problem that we come across is obviously that there's no reassurance of completion and there's lack of compliance. And it's harder to track incidents. So we do have a solution for this. We have a digital solution, and like I said, I know there are some users with us today, and they're currently using FireCloud. Thanks very much for attending, we provide a digital solution which allows you to complete, track and record all of your daily and periodical fire safety checks. What you can also do, among other things, is log and track any incidents. So you can create and complete checklists and you can get real-time instant reporting. So I'm going to open up another quick question for you here, and this is how you are recording your checks. So how do you record your daily walks at the moment? So are you using a digital solution, which isn't FireCloud? Are you using pen and paper, or do you use FireCloud? So if you could just mark your answer in there, that would be fantastic. So what we provide is we provide reassurance. So we ensure that checks are completed on time. You can see who, where and when with live reporting. All incidents reported on the spot with instant alerts. We also offer solid proof, so auditable data, which you can stand over should you need to. You can see patterns of weakness, and there's also a daily email straight to your inbox. And finally, we offer consistency. So all data is streamlined and in the same format. You can save literally hundreds of hours with automation, get alerts if a daily fire walk or check is about to be missed. So again, we have been able to look at all these issues that hotels have been having, and we've found a solution for those. So I've just put up on the screen here, these are just some of the hotels that we are currently working with, and these are the things they're saying about us. So it's great to get that feedback. Just for those of you that are currently using FireCloud, if you've got any comments or any feedback you want to put in the public chat there, it's always much appreciated. And then we've now got the last slide, which is basically an offer for you. So for those of you that are not currently using FireCloud, we are offering a 10% discount if you purchase within the next 30 days. I am going to make that active, so you can actually follow that link and that will give you the information. So what next? So obviously you can download that free sheet that I put up there. You can book a one-to-one call to discuss your hotel and where FireCloud can make your hotel more compliant and to save you time and money. And once you've signed up, you can watch as your daily fire walks are scheduled, automated and recorded, and get that first morning report with 100% completed checks. That's the goal. So look, that's the end of the webinar. I really appreciate your time. I do like to keep these nice and short and sweet because I know you're all busy. I'm going to keep the floor open for another 5 minutes or so. If you have any questions, you can add those privately for me. Really appreciate everybody contributing, answering those polls there. And again, that offer is open for you and I'll keep that handout available for you. So thanks very much for your time. Really, really appreciate it, and look forward to speaking soon.